How old are you?
I'm 30. I'm from Slovakia. I am in a relationship.
For how long you've been together?
Year and a half.
And how did you meet each other?
We met in the U-Bahn. In the U-Bahn, yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
What's your relationship status?
I'm in a relationship, yeah. Just, not married, but since 3 years.
Where did you meet each other?
We met in a bar after Wiesn, after the Oktoberfest.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ukraine,
How old are you?
24.
Are you in a relationship?
Yes,
For how long?
1 year
Where did you meet each other?
on the streets.
Here in Berlin?
Yes.
How was it?
So my mom, she sent me a huge parcel from Ukraine. I was just taking it home and it was kind of problematic. It fell down and he came and offered me help. That's how we met.
Like a movie.
Exactly.
How old are you?
35.
In this moment, how is your status?
I'm married.
For how long?
4 years.
How did you meet your husband?
At work, also very dull.
How it was? He approached you?
No, it was sort of after, like it was in early mornings on a weekend, so we were both going from some party. I assumed because it's actually quite a funny story because I just saw him on the platform. We were waiting for the U-Bahn to come. It was maybe 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. And at that time, there is only people who come from a party or they go to work early. And I noticed him and I thought just like, oh yeah, just for like a split second, like, oh yeah, this is a handsome man. And then whatever, I didn't pay more attention to it. And I went and sit down when the U-Bahn came and he sat next to me. And then I thought, okay, now I have to talk to him. So I was the one who approached him.
Both were drunk.
Yes. But it works out also when we're sober. So it's a bit complicated because we were both in another relationship when we met. It was started as an affair and then became a relationship after my now boyfriend separated from his then girlfriend.
When you met, you kissed each other, for example. What he said first to you?
He asked me actually if I'm from Ukraine. He could recognize that because he used to help Ukrainian refugees and I was surprised about that. I took his phone number. It was my decision because I wasn't sure if I want to stay in touch. And then one day I just decided, okay, I text him.
He's from here. Who approached who?
I was friends with his flatmates and we all worked together back in London. And we were just hanging out a lot, the three of us, and kind of got to know each other. Thought he was very funny. Just a good guy all around. I was just out of a long relationship also that was not great. It just kind of happened naturally, organically. I didn't think we would get married one day.
And what is also funny is that because it was still that we had to have masks in the U-Bahn. And I thought, okay, but he has nice eyes, but what if then he takes the mask off and he's like bad teeth or something? But then changed and then we talked without masks and I was like, yes. So that's how we met. Yeah.
Yeah, just a small kiss. It's in this kind of locations, it's normal that you give a little kiss. It's nothing so special.
You said for your boyfriend at that time?
He was born here, but his family is from Italy.
Before this relationship, have you used dating apps?
I used, but it's just not for me.
You don't like it?
No.
And which one did you use?
I used Tinder.
You've been on a date with people from there?
We were together for a little while until we got married. To him it was especially important. So.
And you have kids? When you had the first conversation, the U-Bahn, what did you say to him?
I asked him where he was coming from. I think that was my first question. And then we talked about what he did that day or something like this, yes.
No, it was really like a real affair thing.
You kept the secret.
Almost half a year, but we didn't meet each other very often, only every 3 weeks or so.
But you were like seeing each other? The boyfriend didn't know?
No.
And how
Then
did you feel about that?
I felt terrible.
Not in Berlin. I used to study in Poland. Back then I used that a lot.
This is your longest relationship or you had long relationship before?
I was in the relationship before for almost 4 years with a German man. I met him on Tinder, but it didn't work.
Somehow worked for you for some time.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have him, yes.
And for you, when you were using Tinder, for example, was it for you easy to get a match there? You think you're gonna keep this relationship until you die?
And it's the plan, right?
Yeah, we'll get old together.
You never know, but that's the plan for now. We'll see how it goes. Look, I mean, I'm not delusional, but well, that's what I'm aiming for. Yeah, it would be nice. Why not?
You always wanted something like this? You always dreamed about having a long-term relationship and grow together, getting old?
It's a good question. I don't think so.
When you were about to leave the U-Bahn, you asked the number or he asked?
Yeah, I said I was going not the same direction, but I thought, okay, I can go with you, so just keep talking. And I didn't expect that then he would actually make the step, because I thought, okay, nice conversation in the U-Bahn, but I didn't really think that, okay, now we're going to start dating or something. But then he made this step back of like then asking me.
I also tried to stop the contact with another boy or man, and then we didn't talk for a month or so, but then he approached me again and said like, don't you think we should make it official, and I understand that you don't want these secrets anymore. Yeah, but then I needed some more weeks to really decide what to do. Yeah, and to really break up with my ex-boyfriend, my then boyfriend.
Yes, but I feel like men just give likes to everyone.
How you choose the person you want to talk with?
Based on text mostly, but also pictures. Not very complicated, to be honest.
You check the bio of the person?
Yes. I don't know, if people can't write about themselves, I don't like that. I want to see what you expect from the meeting and from the person that you meet, and what you don't like and what you can offer.
I don't think so. Even getting married wasn't such a big deal for me. Having kids was not necessarily on the cards. I think I just kind of let things happen to me a little bit because I was happy in my relationship. I didn't question all these steps. It was kind of like a gut feeling thing. If it felt good at the time, I kind of went for it. We'll see how it plays out, right?
You never use like dating apps in your life. You had long relationships before?
Well, I had one very long one, about 6-7 years when I was younger. I mean, this was the teenagehood until early 20s. And then I had shorter ones, so a few months up to 2 years. And in Berlin, I never had longer relationship. Berlin only like a few months here and there.
Had short relationships because you wanted or because partners? At that time, for how long you were with this other person?
5 years.
And the previous boyfriend?
Yeah.
Where did you meet him?
Abroad on the exchange semester. Like, he was Portuguese, so it was in England. But we met there, and then he stayed some more years, and I came back here, and then I went there for some months, and it was like a long distance relationship
Really?
for some years, and then we lived in Munich 2 years.
For how long you stayed in a long distance relationship?
A bit more than a year, so 1 year and 3 months or so.
And seeing each other, how often?
Every month, more or less. That was hard.
In this relationship that you are now, are you satisfied? What's your expectation in this relationship for the future? You imagine getting married, having kids?
I would say that I expect all of that, honestly. I'm pretty traditional, not conservative or traditional, just I feel like I could have such a future, like with kids and a right man next to me.
And how many kids you would like to have?
Right now, in these times, it's hard questions. I think it's too early to think about that. And it's also a little bit scary to think about that. To have kids in a big city or in general. Like, I'm from war and I don't want to have such a future for them.
You live not together?
We do live together. We're kind of married and we have a cat.
What do you like to do with your boyfriend in your spare time?
I mean, not anymore, but when I was single, yes. I used mainly Tinder. I used Tinder, and I mean, it was fun. They were all very nice. I just wasn't necessarily attracted to them. Yeah, I don't have any horror stories from Tinder, probably because I left it at the first date as well. It was just fun.
No, I think I didn't. It was not my goal to have only short one, and I didn't want long term. But I don't want to say it like this because it's not like it's a big generalization. But there's also very strange people here, and I was maybe also not very selective because now when I looked back at these partners, of course it didn't work out because we either had a completely different interest or very big age gap, or we didn't Sweden really were from, like, as if from different planets, because here people are really from different planets and have different worlds. And then, okay, if I think one is not very selective and just kind of goes with the flow and it's easy to meet people, then it is always was just few months, because, as I said, we were, I think, very different. Yeah.
What do you think about open relationships?
Yes, I mean, it's always difficult because we also live together in a small flat. It's always difficult to put two characters together that it works out. And of course there are little conflicts, but that's nothing important because we have the same mindset. So that's why it works out really, really well.
When we just met, we used to go out a lot. It's just hours of talking. We talk to each other a lot. I think that's the quality time together. Like also active, we travel a lot to Italy. Of course, he introduced me to his family. Just being next to each other, it's already like very relaxing and calming. That's what I need.
Can work out, but only for a very selective, like for selection of people. I think for majority, because I know that here is quite common, and myself, I was relatively open to that idea, but then one has to be very, to do lots of work on themselves in order to work. So for majority people, I think it leads to not happiness. This is what was my experience. People in the end, after some months, were not so happy. And mainly it's why. It's mainly, I think, jealousy is very difficult for us humans, I think, to control this emotion. Is very strong, and it's possible, but again, I think it's strong individuals. Don't have very strong opinions, but I think that, yeah, for the majority, it's not something that would, in the end, generate more happiness to people.
Do you have an example about something that you started because of his example or something like this?
Yeah, there's several things. So I'm thinking a bit more about career now, and that I can maybe also lead a team, not only be the little worker. That's one thing where he said, yeah, I think you can do it and you should work on it to make it happen one day, because it's also a long way to get there. And I started the dancing classes, like the couple dance, like standard dance. I wanted to do that since a lot of years, and you always say, yeah, not now, I don't have the time, but then I said, no, I just do it.
Do you recommend people to get to know each other in the U-Bahn?
Yes, yes. Yeah, in the end, we have to have different channels than just the dating apps.